Greetings, YouTubians, and welcome back to Wayne Sharp World, where it is not only Monday, but it is officially time to set all eyes on race day at Indianapolis for the Indianapolis 500. Yeah, I know it's a little weird here on Knife Channel, right? But I thought this would be a nice little spin off my regular introduction for Wayne Sharp World, because if you guys didn't know, I'm a huge IndyCar fan. We just finished the Grand Prix in Indianapolis, and now it's time for the crown jewel, the greatest race in the world, the Indianapolis 500. Qualifying is this coming weekend, and the race is always, as tradition, Memorial Day weekend. The greatest sporting event in the world. I'll just say that. If anyone ever wants to talk IndyCar racing outside of knives on this channel, feel free to drop a comment about some IndyCar racing. I will always respond to that. I love IndyCar racing, so I'm super excited to get this week going, and I am really looking forward to this coming Saturday and Sunday. But what am I going to have in my pockets leading up to this coming Saturday and Sunday? Well, let's take a look at it right now. But first, I'm going to give a huge shout out to all my sponsors up here: DLT Trading, Caviso, Mojave Outdoor, and White Mountain Knives. Guys, look these retailers up for all of your knife and EDC needs. It's because of their great support of my channel I can do what I do on such a regular basis, and I greatly appreciate their support of this channel. Now, with that being said, let's get right into it and take a look at the first knife that's going to be in the pocket today, and it is the Kizer Original. This is a Mojave Outdoor exclusive, and I was really excited to put a link to this knife today because as of yesterday, there was still some available. That is not the case anymore. This knife is now officially sold out in all three variants. There was a non-coated blade, this model, and there was a green handle with black blade version. Arguably the best button lock to come out so far this year. It's right up there. It is in the conversation, and you'll get my full thoughts on the best button locks closer to the end of the year. But this is just an excellent piece. It is super fidgety, absolutely buttery smooth, and it is just an excellent carry. One of my favorite knives to come out in the past few years, actually, especially if you're talking in the realm of just budget knives. It's executed perfectly. The aluminum handles are excellent. They offer great grip. The blade is beautiful and simple. The thumb studs are placed perfectly. The button lock works like a dream. It's a nice deep carry clip, fully recessed. It's really hard to beat this button lock right here from Mojave, and I would have to think there's more coming. I'm almost positive there is. I'm going to put a link to Mojave Outdoor for this knife for you guys to check that out, and maybe there'll be more information on it. But keep your eyes out for this. If you're looking for a nice 3-inch blade button lock with thumb studs, this is it. This is 100% it, in my opinion. It beat out the Civivi Altus by a hair. It is the best 3-inch thumb stud button lock you can get as of right now, or at least it's come out. Like I said, it's kind of sold out right now, but I definitely think there's more on the way. So that's the Kizer Original from Mojave Outdoor. It's going to be in the pocket this week. And next up, we are getting bigger, badder, and yeah, we have the Microtech Socom Elite. I actually just finished recording another list for you guys that I'm going to drop on Friday. I think it's one that a lot of people will enjoy, and it's kind of an updated version, and this is obviously on that list, and it just really, it reminded me how much I love this knife. This truly is my favorite Microtech ever. I like this better than any of the OTFs they make. It's just so good. The way the thumb stud works with the ergos of this knife, and a lot of it has to do with this clip being a tip down carry. Not normally my jam, but I tell you what, you get your index finger there, thumb there, and it just flies out. Beautiful, beautiful blade. I really wish Microtech would go away from this billboarding, though. I get that was kind of like in their DNA. It's what they started the company with, and it's always been a part of Microtech, but I think Microtech needs to make a few little changes. They got to get rid of some of this blade branding. Just, maybe rethink things a little, but I still love them. This is not any type of a diss on Microtech. It's still fantastic. This knife is probably never leaving my collection because it is just an excellent, hard use beast of a knife. And that's why it's in my pocket this week. Next up, we have a new one, and I don't even have a review of this guy out yet. I'm currently working on a review for it, but this is the Orion Knives Solaris. and it is a button lock, but it didn't come out this year. It came out last year, I think. I'm almost positive last year is when it came out. What you have here is a relatively big knife, kind of a medium-sized blade, but overall, when you pair it with this handle, which has some bulky thickness to it, it's a rather big knife, coming in with 14C 28N steel. $85 for this guy. Don't worry, yours won't come with cat hair. It really is a surprising knife. It's one that when you look at it, you may decide to go another route. But I tell you what, when you get it in hand, I'm pleasantly surprised so far with this guy. So I'm gonna have a little more in the pocket this week, get everything wrapped up, and have a review of this ready for you guys probably sometime in the next couple weeks. But it is a pretty darn good one, and I think one that if you want to try another button lock, especially one that has multiple deployment options, it's not a bad one to consider. It really isn't. So this is the Orion Knives Solaris. Next up, I have a knife that you guys have seen this on the channel a whole lot. I've raved about it in the past, but I have not carried it in quite a while. It's really gotten overshadowed with all the reviews and other carries, and I just happened to come across it in my box this week, and it reminded me how awesome it is. The Kizer Genie. This is, in my opinion, one of the best knives Kizer has ever made, especially the premium version. There's a budget version for like $69. It's still really good. It's micarta with a black blade, and I've had one in hand before. I've carried it. It is a great knife, but there's something about this carbon fiber and the S35VN. It's a super, super light knife. It's got to be coming in right around 2 ounces. It carries well. The clip is a little weird, but it's still, it carries very well because it's not too thick. You're going to see about just that much of the knife sticking out of your pocket, so no issue there. And it is just an excellent front flipper. Very smooth, very easy to deploy, and then you can also middle finger flick it. Now, granted, I just cut my nails yesterday, so I have very little, if any, nails. If you have any fingernails whatsoever, it's easier, but it's just a matter of getting your middle finger in there and kind of just pushing the blade out, and it is something you can do regularly. You just kind of got to get used to it because it's a bit of a weird shape there on the cutout, but it works fantastically well, like I said, once you get used to it. But the front flipper is fantastic. It's reach around approved. It is so smooth, and the way the blade kicks out, it comes out with a nice little bit of extra force. It feels good. It's such a light knife, but when you front flip that blade out, it really does come out with a nice, hefty, forceful thwack. So just a very, very nice knife to have in the pocket. And it's also, in my opinion, a pretty good office carry. It's a little more unique. It kind of has those like odd, unique vibes of like a Benchmade 940, something like that. Very, very nice offering. Another one that I've never even really considered selling because it's just awesome. And I think a lot of people really underrate this knife. If you like front flippers and middle finger deployment, you really are doing yourself an injustice if you're not trying this out. Especially being a Kizer. There's so many people out there that like Kizer. These are still available. I believe right now they are $158 on Amazon, but they are being sold through Mojave Outdoor on Amazon. So I'll have a link below. You use that code right there, Wayne's World, you get 10% off, so $15.80 off $158. That brings it way, well, not way down, but well under $150. And it's just a really, really good offering from Kizer, one that's been around and one that I still think a lot of people would enjoy if you take that chance on it. I think a lot of people, if you've experienced the Kizer Genie, let me know, because I can't think of anyone that has gotten this knife and wasn't pleased with it, because it really is that good, and it's just an excellent knife. That is the Kizer Genie. So good. Okay, last up, we got a special carry this week. This is the champ. This is my 2021 Knife of the Year. Over all price categories, this is the #1 knife from last year, in my opinion, and this is the VBR from Varga Knives, and it is just excellent. It reminds me of a better version of a Hinderer knife, in all honesty, and a little less expensive than a Hinderer knife. But it is excellent. The ergos are fantastic. The blade has that excellent Riot grind. This is a compound grind of a hollow grind along the belly and a flat grind up towards the tip. I got some extra scales for this, some green fat carbon that I think look perfect. And there's just nothing about this knife I would change. But even though it's as good as it is, there is a new version of this coming out later this year from Varga Knives. I don't have a whole lot of information, but if you guys are not following Varga Knives on Instagram, you really should be. You really should be. He's an awesome guy. He is great with his customers. He always puts the customers first, and he takes care of them. So he is a fantastic guy, and he is making fantastic knives. He makes them, but he also, this is obviously just a design that is made through Riot. So it is a Riot-produced model, which is never a bad thing. You guys know Riot makes probably the best, third-party manufacturing that any designer is going to go through. You know, if they're not making them themselves, odds are they're going to be going through Riot. You know, some are made by WE and QSP and Kizer, but, you know, Riot, it really is kind of the gold standard for manufacturing of folding knives, especially over in China. They do a fantastic job, and Mark just absolutely killed this design, and Riot came through and did a fantastic job on it. So it still lives up to the hype. It is just some of the best ergos you could ever feel. Nice clip, just smooth all around with beautiful lines. And I cannot wait for the new version to come out. I already got mine pre-ordered. Gonna have thumb studs and the flipper. It's gonna be super sweet. I cannot wait to get it, and you guys are gonna see that later this year. But that's the carry for this week. These guys right here. Let me know what you guys think of this week's carry. Really excited to get the Solaris in the pocket a little more. It's an interesting knife. And here we go. This is it, guys. This is my lineup leading up to the 500th part of the month of May, and I'm super excited. Let me know what you guys think of this carry. Let me know what's in your pocket. And if you're an IndyCar fan, let me know who you got to take the 500 this year. I'm super excited. I'll be placing a few bets. I think one of those bets is going to be on Joseph Newgarden. But nonetheless, here it is, guys. I hope you all have a great week. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And until the next one, I'm out.